Hi, everybody, coming up on 10/26 right now. Hope you're having a great day. It is Halloween, and we've got a big change coming our way. It seems like Halloween every year can be one extreme or the other. We have often this volatile air mass with winter trying to come into a large part of the United States and summer trying to hold on for others, and it often leads to either severe weather, extremely warm weather like we had yesterday, or extremely cold weather like we have coming in right now. If you can, let me know where you're watching from right now, and we'll get this conversation going loud and clear right now. I'll give you an outlook on Halloween trick-or-treat forecast, and plus where we go from here, because many of us are going to be in the deep freeze the next several days. Plus, I'll look closer at October, where we were and where we are heading, because I see major changes coming our way. So let's map it out right now. Here's a current look at the radar as we were into yesterday. We had this front begin to move east, and really only good for a few showers as it's moving so fast. It doesn't have a lot of an opportunity to really gather a lot of rain or moisture with it. However, it's getting a secondary surge here. It's now crossed the mountains, and that slowed it down a little bit. So I would expect to see in the next couple of hours here some of these showers briefly become moderate at times, and that's just really solidifying the cold air that's coming in, because the air's been relatively dry. You have this rain that's trying to fall in some of these areas. That's leading to evaporational cooling. Let's look at those temperatures, because behind this front, I mean, this is a significant Arctic air mass. You've got 20s, even some teens up here toward Michigan. It's 30 degrees right now in Nashville, 46 in Asheville, 55 in Charlotte, 58 in Greenville, and 48 in Atlanta. I mean, we're talking about major changes coming in, and it will be felt all the way down to the Florida Keys. So wherever you're watching from right now, you're going to feel this big Arctic snap, and it's going to be one to really talk about for a while. Let's look at trick-or-treat forecast, because some of us will unfortunately deal with some mist and some rain. I've got 2 o'clock plotted here, and then as we go deeper into the evening here, we're going to see just some spotty showers here, especially along the I-95 corridor. But in this, there's still some cloud cover back toward the west. I'm going to turn on the cloud cover right here. Notice how there's some clouds over the I-95 corridor in the upstate of South Carolina. Let me back it up one. Here's 7 p.m. Notice Asheville, you're clear, but I do expect there to be some clouds lingering across the upstate, stretching through Charlotte, Raleigh, Durham, and Atlanta. In those clouds could be some light mist, some light drizzle, more likely just sprinkles, and that's only at about a 20% chance. Most of us are going to be dry, but it is going to be breezy and it is going to be cool. Let me map out those temperatures. It's one of those days where it might actually get colder as the day goes on, especially in the mountains of North Carolina, where I expect snow flurries later tonight into tomorrow morning. Notice by 7 o'clock, we're at 42 in Asheville and Hendersonville. It's 53 in Greenville, still holding on to the 70s in Charleston and Savannah. Notice the Keys down in Miami, around 80 degrees. But look at this. We all drop to freezing tomorrow morning across Charlotte, Greenville, Atlanta, 20s in western North Carolina, and then you've got below freezing stretching through New York, Pennsylvania, up through the Midwest, even teens there. Let me show you tomorrow, because it will likely be a record cold day. One of those situations where it's a record cold high temperature, so the coldest afternoon we've ever had for November 1st. And it's saying a lot because we've had some wild ones. So here we are at 2 p.m. It's 40 degrees in Asheville. It's 35 in Boone, North Carolina. It's 49 in Greenville, 49 in Charlotte, 51 in Atlanta. So this is really going to be a cold, cold day as we go through tomorrow. And notice temperatures, they do not budge. They do not budge at all. Barely getting above freezing there in Asheville and Hendersonville, the 40s across the Greenville-Spartanburg area, and it just stays so chilly to where by Thursday morning, probably the coldest of this cold snap, we're in the 20s and 30s widespread across the area. Look at Central Florida, 40s showing up as far south as Orlando. We've got 30s in the Panhandle, Panama City Beach, through Tallahassee, 35, 36 degrees. I mean, this is a significant cool down coming to the south, and it will all be felt. On top of that, it's going to be windy. Let me show you later today, those wind gusts in the mountains get up to 40 miles per hour, 30 miles per hour from Charlotte to Greenville to Atlanta, and that means as we go into tomorrow morning, those wind chill values are going to be frigid. Let me plot those wind chill values because, oh my word, tonight, midnight, it feels like 19 in Asheville and Hendersonville, 30 in Greenville, Spartanburg. Look at tomorrow morning at the bus stop, folks. 10, a whopping 10 10 degrees for a wind chill in Asheville and Hendersonville. That's because it's about 29 degrees, but a wind blowing at about 40 miles per hour. So this is no joke. This is like the heart of winter type of cold. You want to bundle up. It feels like 25, 24 in Greenville, Spartanburg, 21 in Atlanta. You'll want to bundle up significantly going into Wednesday morning, as we're all going to be feeling it. Look at the wind chill values in the panhandle of Florida. Panama City Beach to Tallahassee, 27 to 30. That is going to bite. It has not been that cold since the heart of winter last year. And at the peak of the day, the warmest part of the day on Wednesday, we're expecting the high temperature to feel like 30 or 31 in Asheville and Hendersonville, 44 in Greenville, and it's just going to be cold as far south as you go. Even Orlando feeling like 60. So a nice cool day to go to the parks. It is just going to be so nice. And then Thursday morning's much of the same, waking up to the 20s and 30s for feels like temperatures across the area. So what about snow? Yeah, we're talking about snow for a large part of the United States. This is a big cool down, and moving forward here, we're at least going to get a dusting to a trace up toward Vermont, Maine, New Hampshire, as far south as Jersey, Pennsylvania, New York. Could get to quick dusting or at least see the snow flying around. That moves out, and then what goes up for us in the East Coast is going to go down in the Rockies. More snow expected there as we're getting that snowpack, which is oh so important for our winter forecast. It's coming to fruition as I expected. Moving forward, though, it is going to be a very cold week across much of the East Coast, but it rebounds this weekend to where we start turning back up the warmth. We'll be back to the 70s across a large part of the East Coast, and it looks like much of next week will feature the same thing. Warming temperatures and lots of sunshine. We continue with that drought. So where do we go into November? Well, the next 6 to 10 days, I expect us to be above normal. We're going to warm things back up. It has been cool, but we're going to turn things around, and we're going to really begin to warm those temperatures back up. The 8 to 14 day outlook is much of the same. Will be near normal, which for a lot of the East Coast is right at 65 to 70 degrees. Farther north you go, you're talking more 40s and 50s. And then it's going to warm up across the West Coast as well. So it's going to be a warm week here. We're going to get these big fluctuations this winter. It's going to be a whiplash type winter. I expect, especially as we go into December and January, you'll have some extreme highs, some extreme lows, and that means there's going to be volatile weather in the changes there. That's when you get your big snows. All right, week 3, this will get us into the 11th to the 24th. Getting close to Thanksgiving travel, there's equal chances of above or below normal temperatures. Just a little bit too far out to kind of discern either way. As far as precipitation, next 6 to 10 days, standing a slightly better chance at seeing some rain along the East Coast, but overall, I just don't see anything big coming our way in the next week. But 8 through 14, better chance of some East Coast rain as well as some old frontal boundaries come through. And then weeks 3 through 4, this will get us close to Halloween. Looks like we're going to be drying out across the Northeast with a better chance for some beneficial rain back through Texas. Speaking of rain, we need it. A large part of the United States in a big-time drought right now. Let me go back to that. It's very dry. You don't need me to tell you this. And looking specifically at the Western Carolinas, we've been upgraded here to a level 3 severe drought here in just the past couple of days. And that stretches for the upstate through the mountains. And then you got a level 4 drought. This would be a exceptional drought back through northwest Georgia into Tennessee and Alabama. Simply put, we need some rain. Simply put, we're just not going to get it. It looks like we're going to see at least drought conditions remain, and we're going to need to watch this closely as we just don't see a good chance for rain in the next month, as it just remains pretty dry moving forward. So let's look at the temperature swings. The outlook for November just doesn't offer much. This is, a pretty easy to understand map. The farther down you would see this graph go, the more volatile the air mass would be. And we're in this dip right here. So you're finding this big dip right in here as we're going to see colder weather. And it looks like we're going to see pretty normal, no big extremes one way or the other until we get to about the 10th of November. It looks like we'll experience another pronounced cool down, and then it looks like it warms up. Could be a very warm Thanksgiving week for us if this pattern were to hold true. At least getting quite warm going into the middle of the month is what I'm seeing right now. The European model gets us out many days here, so we're cool this week, but notice how those blues change to darker oranges here, and that would indicate above normal temperatures coming in. So it looks like we do have a mid-month cool down for about 3 or 4 days. Then it's replaced by a pronounced warm-up. This would get us closer to Thanksgiving week. Looks like a big-time warm-up across the East Coast as a big ridge takes over and dry weather continues. The only rain we're going to get is from our sprinklers, it appears. As far as rain tonight, who's going to see a trick-or-treat washout? I don't really expect a washout except for the East Coast. You got Raleigh-Durham eastbound. Unfortunately, a little Halloween spoiler for you. Myrtle Beach could have some rain here and there up through Wilmington. Charlotte eastbound, drizzle, light showers being possible. The rest of us are going to be pretty dry. How about those fall colors? It has really popped in the past week or two to where we have reached peak. And unfortunately, as I mentioned earlier in my fall outlook, we have these leaves barely hanging on. I mean, they're just holding on tight right now. And it looks like that's leading to a lot of these moving on through very quickly, to where we're not getting a lot of color showing up anymore. And that's going to be the case, is these leaves are barely hanging on with the drought. And then comes our forecast where we're going to begin to get things to dry out for us. And that's going to unfortunately lead to these leaves and the leaf season just not hanging on very much. We'll probably see the leaves fall off the tree with this cold front coming on in. So that's the case right now. If you will, let me know what you're seeing in your neck of the woods. If you have any questions you'd like to discuss with regard to November outlook, winter outlook, or just anything, pop them in the chat right here. Got the chat open on my screens in front of me. Looking at some rain on the current radar near Sandy Springs, Alpharetta, Athens, Georgia, seeing some showers. Got some spotty rain in Anderson County to Columbia. Charlotte's got some sprinkles here and there, but overall, we're looking pretty good going into Halloween evening, as we're going to see things mainly dry out, but it's just going to be a bit on the cold side. It is going to be quite chilly going into our evening as the wind continues to stay high, especially picking up later on this afternoon. So that's what we got cooking right now. Hope you're having a great day. Here we are on Tuesday, and it's going to be a good day for us. So the ticker, had to update that thing. Thank you for catching that, Daniel. Snow possibilities. Yeah, there's going to be some snow tonight in the mountains. This year, what will winter bring for northern Greenville County? Tiger fan. We're talking about at least an average to an above average year, I believe. I think this is going to be one of those seasons that are going to be quite interesting with multiple threats. I expect it to be very active. I think this winter will present multiple opportunities for snow. And if we get the cards to line up, there's going to be at least one big one. Hello, Chris. Any chance for snow before Christmas? That is always a possibility. We had that in 2017 and 2018 on December 7th and December 8th, respectively. So it is possible. It's just unlikely. It's hard to get snow this time of the year, and I see us being very warm through Thanksgiving. With that said, with us being so warm going into Thanksgiving, you have to anticipate that the cycle is going to go back down going into December. So I would expect us to really cool down December 5th through the 10th, possibly lingering through the 15th, which could provide an opportunity there. That would mean we'd probably begin to warm back up for Christmas, or at least get near average or near normal. I would expect our more snowy time to be that second week of January through February 14th, 15th, around Valentine's Day. That's when we statistically get the most snow. When could severe weather come? Storms, tornadoes in the upstate. We look out for it this time of the year. This is our secondary severe weather season as these air masses begin to change. Very, very possible to get severe weather in these situations. But I would expect when the jet stream starts becoming more active, January, February, we get those unusually warm days, and then comes winter returning. We'll probably find some severe weather chances there. Wasn't it last Christmas we had those 0 degree days? Kelly, absolutely. It was last year. We were at 3, 4, 5 degrees. It was terribly cold. That was one of the most pronounced cool downs we've had in years. Broke records, in fact. It was below zero, -3, -4 on Christmas Day last year in Asheville and Hendersonville. So, too early to say for that, but I do see us warming up for Thanksgiving, at least right now. Shauna, traveling over the North Carolina mountains this evening from Kentucky. How does the weather outlook? It will be rain. It will be very windy, 30, 40 miles per hour. So watch out for the truckers. Make sure you're being careful there. Give yourself some good following distance. But I don't expect there to be much snow falling. There will be flurries. There will be snow flying around. You'll probably see. So let me know if you see that. I'd love to see that. So that's what we got right now. How about snow in Georgetown? It's hard to get snow in Georgetown for you, Joey, but it's certainly not out of the question. All it takes is one of those big ones, and if you do get that chance, I would expect it to be late January, early February. The cards kind of align. For Asheville, Hendersonville, I'm going to go on a limb here and say you're probably going to get 20 inches or so this year, one of the big ones. You'll probably get at least one good big one that gives you 10, 12 inches, and you'll probably get a couple other chances that give you 4 or 5 inches at a time. Going to be one of those situations where my grandmother used to always say, if it's lingering around for more than 4 days, it's waiting on another one, and we'll probably have those opportunities to try to prove that correct this year in Western North Carolina. How's the rest of the week look for Folly Beach? Carol, it's going to be absolutely beautiful, Folly Beach. It's just going to be cool. You're going to see the temperatures top out in the 50s tomorrow. It's going to be windy as that front goes through, but it will be nice and sunny. You'll warm up by the weekend, back to the 60s and 70s. It's going to be really nice going into the weekend. Boiling Springs, South Carolina for snow. Sheila, probably looking at a good season. I'd say anywhere from 6, 7 inches to maybe as high as 10 inches for your storm totals for the year. Walhalla, oh yeah. Walhalla always gets a good one. I would say anywhere from 6 to 10 inches, maybe even closer to 12 if you get 2 good ones. So that's the way things are shaping up right now, folks. I hope you have a wonderful... Wrong button. I hope you have a great Halloween. Make sure you keep the kiddos safe tonight. It will be windy. You want to bundle up, but watch out for the crazy drivers out there. I know Halloween can be a lot of fun, but there's some crazy people out there. So be careful as you're trick-or-treating out tonight. Hope you and your family have a good one. At my house, we've got a Mario. We've got a Mario riding Yoshi, I should say. It's one of those blow-up fans where Yoshi gets big. And Mario riding Yoshi. We've got a Luigi, and we've got a Princess Peach. That's the way things are shaping up at the Justice home. Hope